Welcome to VFSN. I'm Chris DeMarco with Lefty McGovern and Dan Schifrin, and you're watching the Valley Forge Disc Golf League.
That's right, Chris. It's opening day, and we've got the Thunder Bay Waves facing off against the Rock City Royals here at Breakwell Steel Disc Golf Course in Warwick, New York. Conditions are looking soppy as we're playing in the rain. It's mid-40s, and the players are going to be battling some pretty harsh conditions today.
And I am proud to introduce one of the newest teams to the VFDGL, the Thunder Bay Waves, and their very own GM, Christopher DeMarco, followed up by Matthew Coltrera, who Chris met out on tour with the Disc Golf Pro Tour, Jevin Torres, wild card, huge heart. Can't wait to see what they do.
On the other side of the tee, we got the Rock City Royals, led by the defending champion general manager Scott DeMarco, the Iron Man, the Juggernaut, the play 5 rounds in a day hero, Paul Bolanich, and Adam Andrian, a great friend of Paul and Scott, rounding out the Royals lineup today.
The Rock City Royals might have more experience out there on the course, but Chris DeMarco is no stranger to the way this game is played.
That's right, folks. We've got 6 teams in the league, a 4-player roster, but only 3 teammates are going to play each week. 10 games per season, 6 holes per game, and all 3 players will throw from every lie. Let's get into it. Opening day, game 1, hole 1, par 3, 234. Some OB lining this left side, so you got to get this one up, but that drop off behind the basket is huge.
Check out the Thunder Bay Waves and their new unis. First time out. Chris DeMarco taking the first shot here for the Thunder Bay Waves. Since we're seeing him, that means he did shoot the best shot of the bunch. Here we go.
Chris stepping up here with his Tersis flippy mid-range. He's going to look to start off to the left here and drag it over to the right, back to the pin.
And he blows his knee out.
Going with the little turnover on this shot. We saw how difficult it was to gain strokes on the opposition last year. These first few holes are going to be huge, and we got Scott DeMarco, GM of the Royals, course designer of the BBY, and the 2021 Player of the Year.
Hi, I'm Scott DeMarco, the general manager of the Rock City Royals. The Royals like to have a lot more fun than everybody else does. Hashtag fun. Certainly a very prideful group. Come from humble beginnings. We're the only team with a championship out here. This is for you, Rock City!
7 out of the last 7 shots from Scott DeMarco there to close out the win.
So on the Royals this year, we've got Paul, the Juggernaut Bolanich, Adam All-Day Andrian, and Dan Stan Schifferobe Schifrin. I think every team's going to be bringing their best squad out to beat us, which is understandable, and they should. That was a big shot last season. I was happy to shut Travis down. I think most people would be happy to put Travis in his place. Just hate to see a guy like that go out to Colorado, try to find himself, and come back with nothing. Travis stinks.
Getting things started with a little sidearm here for Scott. This one's drifting a bit deep and a bit left.
You're inbound long, I think. We're going to have to hit a world breaker putt.
It's definitely not where you want to be for the Royals starting off, but it's not out of bounds, so here we go.
Adam Andrian walking down to the lie. Little forehand bid from number 7, just short.
Number 99 here, aiming to take a stroke on the first hole of the inaugural game of the season.
Inaugural.
Just a bit to the right there.
Is this you, John Black Blue?
Some of the first hole jitters, and it's raining.
Yeah, a little bit wide right. Wasn't able to get the practice I wanted to in the green during the off season, but you know, VFDGL opening day, sometimes you just got to let the passion lead the way. And this tunnel shot is very narrow, but the latter half has that downhill nature to it.
What's the hole? You need to go straight. Silver.
You've got to get under that tree there at the end, so you need to keep this one nice and straight, nice and flat. Common mistake is to feather this one and end up too far left.
Here we got Jevin on the box. Last we saw him at Battle of Greystone, he fought his way up to lead card. More than anything, Jevin competes with a lot of heart. He's got a lot of loyalty to his team, and it's great to see him out here competing for the Thunder Bay Waves here today.
Adam Andrian getting another shot in for the Royals. This one drifts a bit wide left, but it's just nice to see the new players getting some action. We got a lot of new players in the league this year.
Yeah, Chris, as you can see, I added some top-tier talent to the top of the Galaxy roster for this season. Jacob Bliss and Matt Lawson, thanks to a trade from the NJ Goldfinches. Shout out, David. You see Dan Schifrin sitting at the bottom of the Royals roster this year. New acquisition. I mean, it's going to come to fruition really quick to see a player of his caliber at that tier.
Yeah, really nice GM shift from Scott DeMarco to scoop up Dan. We see their lineup out here today, and they've got him sitting on the bench waiting to play at Greystone Woods next week. That is scary. And it's Adam again for the Royals.
Puts up a good bid, but keeps it close. As we see Jevin here from about 18 feet. These are critical putts, honestly. These are make or break.
Definitely not what he wanted out of the hand as you saw it. Really angled downwards, but finds the basket anyway.
And Adam cleans up the par 3. Even through the first two, stepping into hole 3, par 3, 320 feet. A booming left to right shot up this hill. And you can just tell the course designers were licking their chops looking at this cliff. This basket is gorgeous. Number 24. Massive sidearm on this guy.
Nice shot, kid. There we go.
Matt Coldrera, you know what you're going to get. Watching him step up to the box, it's going to be really, really far.
Yeah, he is a wild player out there. Scott DeMarco on the tee, lining up a sidearm as well. Big height.
You could just see how short the Royals and the waves are of this green. Even at 320, the elevation makes this whole play like 400 easily, I'd say.
Yeah, tough effort from Adam. We see Matt kind of hiding his disc under the jacket. The conditions are rough. Rain is coming down hard.
Matt just missing low as he hits the cage. His GM was yelling to please somebody just miss high. No one seemed to do that, but we're all going to clean up here.
Even through the first 3, it's gridlocked out here at Warwick on opening day. Thunder Bay Waves, Rock City Royals, hole 4, par 3, 325, playing silver to silver on this one. You cannot see the basket off of the tee, but this is a relatively routine shot, and oh my lord, Matt Coldrera taking a dive. He is a pretty smooth flyer, and so is the sidearm of Jevin Torres.
Whoa. Cresting the hill beautifully and almost giving a little kiss on the bottom of the basket there. The Waves are going to have a tester coming back for the 2.
And the Waves are foaming at the mouth after that shot crested the hill. Just going to work in as many C-related terms as I can today.
Scott putting one up, using the height of the drive to kind of stall out and drop onto the green.
And we got a little controversy on the green right here, measuring out this putt. Little debate about whether or not it was in or out of the circle. Jevin Torres stepping up to the putt. And we see the Royals off to the left there with a nice look.
Solo birdie. Jevin Torres shaking the nerves off early in the game is going to be key. Is there anyone that loves being a Wave more than Jevin Torres?
How about that, though? All that squabble about whether it was in or out. Jevin just says, you know what? Hold on a second. Cans it, stand still. No worries.
And Adam, all day, Andrian stepping up with a big putt for the Royals.
Ooh, the left side of the basket isn't as friendly to him as it was to Jevin Torres a shot earlier.
Yeah, tough break for Adam there. You know, this rain and the poor weather kind of equalizes the field out there. I mean, Dan, talk about how it's already so difficult with the triples layout. Then you add in the poor weather. What's it like down there in that kind of game?
Yeah, there's been really little to no separation in the first 4 holes of this first game. But Jevin coming in clutch with that huge putt on the 4th hole. It really is going to come down to the putting on the green, especially circle 2 putts. That's going to be a huge score separator. And hopefully we get to see more of Adam as well.
Yeah, big putt from Jevin there. He put so much heart and practice coming into the season. Jevin, we know you've been preparing all year. How did that putt feel down there?
It's a little wet. It was definitely a slow start for us, but I guess first hole jitters a little bit, but we're getting through it. That was definitely one small step for us, in the right direction. So I'm feeling good.
So Jevin with the only solo birdie of the day so far, really illustrating how difficult the course is playing right now. Hole 5, par 4, 362. Crazy to think that this is under 400 feet. You've got OB lining the right side woods. And as narrow as it is off of the tee, you do need to be careful as you can go OB long. And this little OB patch at the end here really gives players a creative, interesting decision to try to attack the basket for a potential look at a long 3, perhaps even a 2, or to stay outside. But no decision for number 24. Just big sidearms all day from Coltrera.
And if we didn't say it before, it is raining out. As you can see by the puddles on the ground and the umbrellas in hand.
As you can see by the puddles on the ground. That is the creed of the Thunder Bay Waves. I love playing in the rain.
Said no one ever. As Paul penetrates through the woods there and puts the Royals in a great spot to approach for the birdie.
Really nice GM-ship from Scott DeMarco. Tip of the cap. We see him all day out there with the umbrella.
Acting a bit like a maitre d'
yes.
to the Royals.
I feel like that's something Terry Miller would say. Scott DeMarco seems to be going with the inside line there. Floats one over the basket. And a little Scott DeMarco run up to the green.
Scott's definitely going to check it out because he's smashing up the middle. His teammates probably played it a little bit safer than he did, and that's the name of the game here. Bang. Without a doubt, Chris DeMarco getting that first circle 2 putt out of the way early in the season, early in the day. This weather is not stopping the waves.
Beautiful follow through, and you can just really see what that means to him right there, looking back at his team as if to say, right here, right now, we're doing this.
Adam Andrian with a chance to keep it to 1 going into the last hole. And a crucial putt from Adam. After a little debate, Scott had a foot fault on the last putt. You just love to see that kind of passion coming from the GM out here.
How about Adam's play today so far?
Wow.
The man has not competed in disc golf. He's never played a tournament. This is his first league game, and here he is coming out here making all the crucial putts and just keeping the Royals in contention in this first game. You love to see it.
Insane effort from Adam Andrian so far, stepping into the last hole. Royals need to place one near the green here. It's a par 3, 378. Some debates back in the day about whether this hole was a 3 or a 4. The community seems to have settled on the fact that it's a 3, and I think that's a good move. You can really get one around the corner with a nice backhand, or you can be Matt Coltrera and just bend one around the corner as Brian Roeder is tending to the lens of his camera.
The Rock City Andrians are really going to need to put it together here on hole 6. Separation is hard to come by here.
As that one whizzes past the cameraman. And hopefully that hooked up a good bit left. It does kind of crest downhill. As we see Travis Rollins and Shane Sassone chilling, waiting for their game. We see the Royals about 60, 70 feet to the left there. So there is a chance for them to hit that long putt and tie up the game. But it's going to take a big shot for them.
Do it. I like it. I like it.
Wow! Big shots, you say?
Chris deep shot DeMarco.
Big players make big shots in big moments. That's exactly what the Thunder Bay Waves needed to bury the Rock City Royals.
You know, this is why we're out here. You know, we're trying to take 3 subpar golfers and add that up to 1 above average player that creates these magical moments. And just, I'm not even sure chains was even necessary. That was into the bottom of the basket. 130 feet.
And look at the rain. I mean, we're just out here grinding. You can even see the Royals celebrating that shot. I mean, they had a look to tie the game, which would have been huge for them. We saw them make a ton of big shots last season. But I mean, it's brothers in arms out here, especially in this kind of weather. Royals cleaning up. Respectable effort from the Rock City Royals out there going neg 1 on the day.
Yeah, I mean, we see the Waves go 3 down in the last 3 holes. I mean, Chris's big shot aside, the Waves really, really came together and turned it on. The icing on the cake, obviously the huge throw-in, and I think that'll really propel them going forward.
Yeah, and it has to be said, it's almost, no, it's not almost, it is poetic that the progenitor of the league comes out and on the first day, the first game, provides that little bit of magic there and really kind of christens in this new season. It's beautiful to see.
It really is, and it's something we've never seen before. You know, no one's ever thrown one in from 128 feet in the history of the sport. So,
no one,
you know, for us to see that here today, I mean, it really is a historic moment for the sport.
And somehow it's only your second longest throw.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, tell us, how does it feel down there at Warwick?
Yeah, emotions are definitely high out here. A lot of pressure. Royals were hitting a lot of big shots last season. I knew they had a chance to tie the game on that one. Jevin got us a nice layup, just put it up high. Said hopefully it'll fall in. Can't believe it actually happened.
I like it.
Wow!
Let's go, man! Come on! Let's go! All f***ing day! All f***ing day, baby! All season long! Subscribe to the channel! Let's go!
Big shot, but let's talk about Adam Andrian.
Let's.
Unbelievable effort from Adam Andrian out there. I mean, it's the kid's first time on a big stage like this. Adam, you came out here at Warwick, big shot on hole 5 to give your team a chance. How did that putt feel?
Felt pretty good to get a first putt in. His conditions aren't the greatest, but after hitting that putt, it still gives us a chance to come back.
All right, we've got 1 game in the books. 5-week season here in the Valley Forge Disc Golf League, 2 games per week. Hole 1, par 3, 280 feet. You can see this little narrow spot here does make this a challenging shot, but really this should be a pretty straightforward drive for most of our field here. Although in these conditions, I'm not sure.
Number 99 here, stepping up once again for the Thunder Bay Waves following that massive throw-in.
Good job. That's a putt.
No, it's not.
After a big moment like that, you know, it's
hard to keep giving everything you got, you know?
Then you use the word hangover. There's a bit of a hangover for a few moments after a shot like that.
Without a doubt.
And Scott also showing just how taxing this day has become. I mean, you haven't seen the players show the emotion because of how much heart and competition there is going into this day. But I mean, it's grueling conditions out here as Matt Coltrera goes deep.
Off the top band there for Matt. And you can actually see in this angle here, the rain turned into hail.
Yeah, it's thick out there.
So things were tough.
Bit wide from Adam. Looks like the Royals struggled on that putt. It was a bit deep and uphill.
I can't wait to see Matt Coltrera get a replay of him making one.
Yes.
The kid has been around the basket, under the basket, on top of the basket all day long.
All day.
everywhere but in it.
It's funny how I was like all day earlier when we missed the first 3 holes of 3 people. Stepping into hole 2 in game 2 here in opening day, Warwick Blue, one of the crown jewels of the Breakwell Steel course. Par 4, 737 feet. A great drive can land at that mouth, which is important because you can see how technical this green is here. Backing it out, see that river is a-flowing.
Yeah, people that have played this course a lot said that they have never seen the river that high. I mean, the rain is really coming down.
And Jevin Torres is coming down the fairway with another nice sidearm here. This looks like it was probably a placement play from the waves. This is a hole where you need to be strategic. Who's going aggressive? Who's going first? Are you putting your best foot forward? Or are you saving a guy at the end to see if you can get Paul Balanche to just drop one in the center of the fairway? And if he went before Scott, it's likely Scott would try to go big there.
I do.
What?
Here we go. Former teammates, now rivals.
Love to see the players coming out here on opening day. We've got the Arctic Tundra versus the New Jersey Goldfinches airing next Wednesday at 3 p.m. here on Valley Forge Sports Network.
Not sure if that was picked up, but Scott actually just called Chris on a foot fault there. Get a replay, second look here.
I don't think I touched. No.
As per PDGA rules, there needs to be a second set of eyes to confirm the call, and unfortunately there just wasn't, so the Waves got away with one there.
Unfortunate for the Royals, that is. Not unfortunate for the Waves, because that was a great shot.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out coming down the fairway of hole 2 here. It is unfortunate. You know, we had never had a foot fault called. We weren't sure what to do. That's why it's always nice to be able to defer to the PDGA rules. Jevin Torres.
That water right behind the basket definitely making the Waves a little bit nervous on those putts.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, I want to see Jevin build that confidence on the green, but kind of glad he didn't hit that one after the foot fault. Hole 3, par 5, 633 feet. I absolutely adore this hole. You want to try to push it left off of the tee shot because it is very difficult to attack the green on your second. And this is where you're going to see a lot of the second shots land. It's just hard to penetrate through the woods there.
Now, as we see the Thunder Bay Waves' very own Matt Contreras step up to the tee here. Chris, it's been pretty well known around the league that you've got two of the most fiery, most kind of wild card type-esque players in Jevin and Matt in the league. Can you just kind of bring us into the thought process behind drafting them? What were you thinking?
Yes, much like the consistent tides of the ocean waves, we've got some strong vibers on this team and some wild throwers. Matt Contreras and Jevin Torres, same strategy on both fronts. I felt like both were severely undervalued players. I pulled a little bit of Oakland athletics on them. The ratings weren't as high as I believe their skill cap can be, as we see Scott DeMarco showing an incredible mastery of the diving forward while throwing skill. Much like the Zachary Tassone hat flip, when you see Scott dive forward after a throw, you know it's going to be a good shot.
Scott DeMarco has more aggression and passion saved up for his whole team.
Yeah, great shot and an even better follow through.
And it comes at a clutch time. You know, this is a difficult hole. It's definitely one that poses to be a score separator. Jevin Torres going with the roller.
Speaking of aggression, going with a very wild card play there with the forehand roller to attack the green.
It's one of those plays that in a regular tournament you might not see, but in the triples format you really get to see people show their true colors and take those aggressive shots.
Yeah, that's what we're here to do out here. You know, give players the chance to hit shots they normally wouldn't. It's Adam Andrian again on the green. And he is just wide right on that chance for the Royals to take a stroke here in game 2.
There you go, Matt. Nice putt.
Stepping into the 4th hole of game 2, we got a 301-foot par 3 dealer's choice off of the tee. You can either go with that left high shot or this right driven drive. Hook something up down this hill. It looks like a pretty simplistic hole, but this one is actually very challenging off of the tee. There's usually a really blustery crosswind here, no matter the weather.
Now coming down the stretch here, I just want to talk about the brotherly love that we have going on this league. 3 of us sitting here all have brothers in the league.
Yes.
Now I got to compete against my brother in the WWBL all the way up to the championship game. Chris and Dan, do you guys want to talk about how excited you are going to this season, getting to face off against your own blood?
I cannot believe that this was chance. We rolled out this matchup completely random after the draft in the basement of Dan Schifrin's house. And as soon as I saw Waves Royals in the first game, I was just like, how did we not plan this already? Going off against my brother Scott here as he steps up on the green with a chance to take a stroke. I mean, you just can't find more fiery competition than 2 brothers facing off in a sport that they're not that good at.
It really lends itself to some heightened competition and some very, very explosive encounters out there.
Big putt from Scott. You saw some of the exhaustion from him coming down the stretch. I mean, playing in weather like that, it is extremely taxing for these guys. Big putt from Scott DeMarco on the green to get things going. Dan, how do you feel about your GM out there today?
It's tough to keep vibes high with conditions, with the conditions being what they were in game 1 and a little bit of game 2. But the Royals are coming back strong as we always do. Scott is coming in clutch with some more shots out there, and it's looking good to take down game 2. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he knows how to come in clutch in the big moments. Scott, 2 holes to go. What you thinking down there?
Gonna try to throw the disc really hard. Hopefully the arm stays in the socket, and hopefully we hit a putt. If we hit a putt, the game's over.
Simple as that.
Look at all the boys. Jose peeking in the background. Yeah, Scott's got an interesting point. Hole 5, par 4, 555. This is one where it's very difficult but possible to find the look for the eagle. But I think it's going to be pretty easy for most teams to get the 2. So if the Royals can find a long putt here, it's going to be hard to match.
Scott going to be looking to really unload on this shot here.
Setting out to prove why he was the 2021 Player of the Year. Super happy with that shot.
The disc. Salutes to you.
As would anybody.
Rock City. And we just heard Scott challenge Coltrera to beat him on this shot. Coltrera was talking about his distance on this hole since before the draft.
Unbelievable the way he starts the disc
Matthew.
on that. Wow.
Number 24.
He starts the disc on this like roller angle, and it just catches the wind and pans all the way out.
A thing of beauty in Thunder Bay. Scott plops one right under the basket. Waves have a chance to tie here.
Great bid, coming up just short. That's what Chris DeMarco's out here to do. He's gonna make great plays.
Something was off with the basket there. I need to, as the commissioner, I might need to put that play under review. There was some questionable wins there.
Still, nice birdie from the Thunder Bay Waves.
Hole 6, par 5, 900 feet, 1 stroke of separation, and this hole is a separator. A good drive is going to come to about this mouth here, which is going to leave you the chance to attack either the right side over the trees or the left side with a sneaky little sidearm hyzer. You will see some backhand rollers and all types of different technical stuff as you open up to the last 150, 200 feet. This is a very difficult hole as the Royals tee off.
This is what we're here for, Chris, as Scott doesn't do what he probably wanted to do, but on a 900-foot hole, the last hole of the day, one stroke. I mean, this is why you watch these videos.
Yeah, this is an intense moment right here. You can see deliberation in Thunder Bay on the tee. And Scott, rough drive, and that was the best of the group, so the door has swung wide open.
Nice line straight up the pipe. Comes a little bit short. Chris, let's talk a little bit about the strategy that goes into some of these holes when you're playing triples. I mean, you have Matt, you have Jevin, you know they're going to go big. Were you just trying to put one out there to play it safe after seeing the Royals kind of fumble the drive?
Yeah, great question for this exact hole, because there was actually a ripping tailwind that was making it really hard to get above the hill there. You got to pipe one out nice and high, and when that tailwind's pushing you down left, it's not where you want to be because it's going to block you off to this next part of the hole.
I think I like that.
So my shot wasn't the greatest drive, all things considered, on this hole, but yeah, playing safe there. And we know how wild Jevin and Matt are. I like to just unleash them. You know, typically it's the tier ones that are going aggressive. As we see the Royals playing their 3 over there, they were really blocked off. But Coltrera, thankfully, also struggling. Waves shooting their 4. Looking to get onto the green here.
Jevin choosing to air it out over the OB, trying to avoid challenging the low ceiling down the middle. That's a really smart play, and he sticks it on the green there for the 5 for the Thunder Bay Waves.
Yeah, really clutch shot from Jevin Torres
Nice
there after a bit of a struggle. I think the teams are getting a little tired coming down the stretch here at the end of a long day. Adam Andrian, really important shot.
There.
Yeah.
Seeing someone like Adam in his first competitive event in this type of environment, especially with all these great players, seeing him use up all this.
Yeah, this is it right here. Par 5. This is the 5. Just short for Rock City. And Thunder Bay squeaks out the tie.
Never mind.
And there it is. Chris, squeaking out a tie there on this last hole, coming from behind a little bit. How do you think that this tie is going to propel you guys going forward in the weeks to come?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the rest of the league, there's so much competition out there. I mean, it's going to be a tight season. There's only 10 games in the season. We're going to see 2 each week between each team. Squeaking out a tie against the Royals. Honestly, I didn't have much left in me after that throw-in. I feel like I kind of put everything I had into that. Didn't really play much good disc golf after that. So, you know, to take a tie there, I think is huge. It's not going to be much separation between the teams. Dan, I know it's tough to see your team go down in opening week, but you got to be feeling good about some of the play out there. Adam Andrian coming in crazy clutch all day. What are you thinking for the Waves going forward? They're the Royals going forward.
It's looking promising for sure. I haven't seen much of Adam's play, and seeing him absolutely, I don't want to say carry the team today, but putting up a lot of great shots and coming through in a lot of clutch moments. It's going to be a really bright season for the Royals, and we're going to be looking to defend our championship. So
I love it. Folks, if you made it this far and enjoyed the video, give it a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We've got the Arctic Tundra facing off against the New Jersey Goldfinches next week, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Goldfinches, after that rough second place last year to the Royals, we'll see if they can bounce back. And the Tundra getting knocked out by that ace from Scott DeMarco. So they're hungry this year for sure.
comment down below, Crest, if you made it this far.